this season. Welcome courtside. Tom Hart alongside Dane Bradshaw. I don't know what a bench the last couple of games, and he had a magnificent game. And they'll put Silas Demery at the point. He's been sensational over the last #1 ranked team in the country. And the tip, tapped twice, controlled by Denver Jones. Stuffed at the rim. Stuffed again. Huge defensive effort for Georgia.
They should get that out of here. No, sir. Forget that. We're trying to go to the tournament.
The corner. They bring a second on him, so Silas Demery fires and leads at number 6 in the country, scoring 84.4 points per game. But they are middle of the pack in the country in tempo. That three is short. Dylan James pass on the shot.
Opportunistic, but they're so good in the half court with their play calls. Why push and get a badge?
With 10 to shoot, Godfrey with a
been contested tough twos.
Beautiful penetration and a layup for Miles. Issue has been defense in the second half of SEC play, especially as of late.
Sets that screen. He's a shooter. His defender does not want to come over and help.
Demery, 4 to shoot. Got a step on Baker Mazzara, then Cardwell. Auburn 2 for 5 from the floor, an early 4-0 lead for the Tigers. Back in the starting lineup, came off the bench the last couple. Broom into the paint, off balance, and Asa Newell gives Georgia 15 a game. So with a hand in his back, 8 to shoot now. Jump hook, Godfrey misses the same. Jones got a step on Kane, wide open in the corner is Kelly. Demery trying to silence the crowd. A 9-0 Auburn.
I have some guys try to get past their man one-on-one because Auburn switches so much on the perimeter.
% over his last 4 games.
Tom
really
has
turned it up.
As Auburn brought subs in, they
Dakota LaFleur, one of those subs, and he
walking through a landmine field, trying not to have a bad loss the way the ACC.
With the fadeaway 2, he just came into the game and he's been playing
with good shots if you're the defense, but he's been knocking them down.
Pettiford gives Auburn nearly 3. Here's Broom. Lefty fadeaway. Mike White in his 3rd season in Athens. They have improved even. Broom left wide open. And he was just 2 for his last 11. Turns over his left shoulder. Banked it too strong. There's Newell. And there's the
important with Asa Newell as you must block out. You see his offensive jump off the ground and really good body control. Great hands as well.
Of the week. One of 2 have made 5 of 7. Newell to the bench now. Tom Hart alongside Dane Bradshaw in the jungle. #1 Auburn. Baker Mazzara stepped on the end line. Georgia has been off to an abyss. A couple of looks. He's got 4 of their 13 points.
Yeah, they've got some good looks.
A huge opportunity for the Dogs. Fadeaway bank shot with the left. Second matchup this season between the two. Georgia fell out of the game 0 for 7. And on that last possession, Auburn said it. Janai Broom returns to the floor. Where is Georgia's strength in the half court?
For him, he's been settling a little too much.
Deep 3 and instructs the freshman to pull it out. To the high post for Jones. Now 4 to shoot. Jones into the paint. And it's knocked up.
Well, I think Auburn simply forgot to play. There was mass confusion in the half court. Got Trish Moore at the 3.
Bruce Pearl may call more plays. Pettiford, the freshman point guard, gives it up to Jones for a contested 3. But Georgia looking for its first ever win against #1. And the 6-0 in games decided by 5 or less. Second tip is good. Is made first and foremost by talented teams and buttressed by the great college basketball this year. But as long as Ken Pomeroy has been tracking it.
6 minutes, slow to get in their sets.
Absent with the step through, left it short. Bruce Pearl does a fantastic job of keeping his stars fresh, and a resume this season that is unmatched. But as you pointed out earlier,
#1 seed. While they aren't focused on individual awards, Bruce Pearl playing for a category, considering what they've been able to do in a historic SEC night in, night out. It's on the road against Georgia.
Georgia, five-star freshman. Gives it to Blue Kane, who gets downhill and then rejected by Broom. Stepped on the line after this block.
Demery, Asa Newell, you expect to get double figures from both of those guys in red, who's capable as well.
There's LeFew, step back at the end of the shot clock, and that one shots. Home against protege Todd Golden in Florida. Early game this year. The last couple of losses for Mike White's team.
Tom, they've really got that. Their best win, that neutral site win against St. John. A couple games that maybe they're not, including opportunity right in front of us.
Newell couldn't to the free throw line.
Bruce Pearl upset. He thought Hudson got fouled on the loose ball opportunity. And then Georgia opportunistic with some of the sloppy play there.
After playing for Brad Brownell at Clemson for 2 years. Alabama squad coming up a tough loss midweek to Missouri. And then that moves out west, BYU and Arizona as BYU tries to keep the good.
They weren't defending well. Their rim protection wasn't there. Yet then they started playing the
first ever trip in the Final Four. Lots of banging inside, and finally, as Broom
with Broom, and Broom does such a nice job of just playing at his pace and
fantastic job recruiting the Atlanta area. They have since Bruce Pearl and his staff got
those guard skills in them before they moved to the post. And Jedi Broom had an IQ team.
The other one for Chaney Johnson, and he missed them both. Rebound by Blue Kane.
They're not the same player, but it's kind of like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan wasn't the most exciting.
Georgia just won for its last 7, and a foul way out in front goes against the dog.
Before the blocking foul on Chaney Johnson, and so they throw those forearms out into the defender.
Yeah, that extension is probably right. Well, the offense is stuck in the mud right now. Denver Jones from deep out of the rut with the nice lob and finish, and surreal foul on his.
Look at this athlete running the core, able to get this thing high in the air, off balance, gets a.
Our recruit was at overtime elite in Atlanta last year, and he rolls it home. Beaten number 1, 0-20 all time. Baker Mazzara left it short, Cardinal guarding Broom. Kick to the corner. Baker Mazzara for 3. And Broom.
Not just a big man. He is a point center down low. An excellent skip out. And then he does his work from there, taking advantage of the undersized guard.
Knocking down all sorts of shots on the perimeter. That certainly helps. He's at number 2, on the block and looking for somebody to come open. I get it, and I distribute immediately.
Call him. He said as many times as I can. And I think that leads to greater win for him as well.
Auburn with a little full court pressure. Dakota LeFew. Little late getting it to LeFew. The result is a blocked shot. Kane unaware. 1 to shoot. Passed it, and a shot clock violation.
Shooting team, if you're not a good passing team, you got to deliver that thing on time or on target. Or they
came in to today, and as most of the season, quick shot from Broom.
It's been a good look for them defensively.
Kelly had to corral it, but couldn't. Difference, game clock and shot clock. Broom has scored the last 8, so they turn to Baker Mazzara.
Big time bucket by.
Left it short. Here's Blue Kane, and he's fouled. Now, part of that was tongue in cheek, and at worst, combined in an SEC game this season. Broom the lob, Cardwell to finish. Gives it up to Demery. They get a block touch for Abson, who got hit in the play on. Meanwhile, tonight Broom with another assist on the field. Would be the Dogs' best win of the season if they could somehow find some offense.
Pointing at the ball.
That's a Spider-Man meme, not a basketball play.
If they want any chance at knocking off number 1 in the country.
3 fouls in the first 9, 51 dunks. Not bad for a freshman, 6'11", 5-star. Look. Baker Mazzara, the blind three.
Had success now getting Broom right there in the middle of the zone, letting him be that look.
Newell working on Broom. Off balance from under. Cardwell nearly committed his 3rd, and then Baker Mazzara committed.
Momentum, and you were starting to see some of those defensive second half lapses to start games, and that really well for Georgia so far in this one.
Yeah, here's Jones. Got a bump, and now the 3 is off the mark. 2.5 minutes. Newell into Cardwell. Didn't get the whistle. Mike Watt. Meanwhile, Baker Mazzara dances. And a challenge 3.
And then just because we talk pregame doesn't mean he's got to include me in his be yourself. And Baker Mazzara can get himself in trouble. He's got the technicals, and coach will just point to his head and say, be smarter, do this, and allows me to adjust throughout the take advantage of the green light, or you take a ton of questionable shots, or you don't cover the expect. He's got it on the whiteboard. Here's who's starting. Here's how many minutes you're getting as a reserve.
And he was ejected from the game with an errant elbow. Baker Mazzara gambles. Here's LeFew open from 3. Georgia. Now Demery Jr. And he gets that one to go. Well, two guys who know what it's like to play for Bruce Pearl. You played for Bruce at Tennessee. Low-scoring game for Georgia, and the Dogs.
This guy loves the camera.
And what a wonderful exchange. Different than the Chad Baker Mazzara that you see as a viewer if you're not
pass it and give it up. You got a good chance of getting it back, or the next possession will come to you.
Broom on his way in gets fouled again. Baker Mazzara by the free throw line after the third on some.
Since left in the second half, you've held Auburn to 37% from the field, 29% from 3. Remember, this was a 9-0 game to start. Since that slow start by Georgia, they have been. Sure, they can claim they have a better look with their sunglasses on inside the arena.
Could have been. That's how they do it. Kane with the layup. Segment Coliseum back in mid-January. That was a 2-point Auburn is skim screen. Shuffles it out to Kelly.
That really is set as a screen to keep Johnson coming over from providing any rim protection.
Clock fires up an air ball, and Broom barreled into the opposition. It is physical. Surreal going downhill. Fouled! Issue for Auburn.
It is. He's been a mismatch nightmare, but that time he gets taken to the rack and one. Again, with a little bit of bump. Second guy typically gets caught. See if you can get a key player out of the game. I do not think he was in the wrong. If you had to rank guilty parties on that.
Get caught. And there's a reason you're always outside of the principal's office.
Yeah, he's under.
I mean, the friendliness, the smile, the positive attitude. Looking for a positive from an Auburn standpoint.
Big moment. We've joked a little bit about Baker Mazzara and the reputation and emotion, but right now.
Here's Baker Mazzara working with Broom. Floater falls off. And a lob pass nearly hit the scoreboard. Broom, the left hand. Silas Demery Jr. off, and Glenn Big Baby Davis in SEC play. Shock.
And now he's got the energy to go at the defender.
He needs more skittle. Demery dumps it off. Newell fouled on his way up.
The no-look pass to Broom on the breakaway to get this crowd.
Second best prospect in Georgia in his freshman debut. Best in Georgia history. 2 for.
A lot of length to zone.
Bruce Pearl said expect something and present some wrinkles. The zone is the wrinkle. Here's Broom. Plenty of time. Lead of the game for the Tigers. Contested 3 is
on the road. Got to try to silence the crowd. Huge shot from Newell.
6. Neither team was able to take advantage. Broom launched home that it would count. Regardless, when we return, Janai Broom will be has 2 shots instead of 1. Todd Austin had the whistle anytime there's a.
They don't call goaltend, it's not reviewable. So by calling it, it allows you to correct it either way.
Home against ranked Ole Miss this afternoon. Oklahoma, another bubble team. Out of runway, a turnover, 3-on-1. Pettiford kept it. He had.
As Pettiford, Janai Broom thought he had a 2-on-1 situation. Pettiford fought some big ones here when Denver Jones picked up that 4th.
So it's a hot Pettiford at the free throw line. It's hard to play with a chip on the shoulder. Pettiford is the only McDonald's All-America on this run on the floor. Has really worked hard. Second opportunity of their college.
Allows him to not become complacent and just rely on his talent.
Abson got the ball fake at America. He had a high school game against Memorial where he went for 43. Figures, 8-point contest.
I think that's where he can continue to get better. Finishing it around there
for the sophomore from Knoxville. Taken away by Silas Demery Jr. Into Pettiford.
The active hands, gets a couple steals a game. They knew it coming in. You've got to be careful and value.
Silas Demery Jr. was a great defensive back on the football field. His dad Silas Demery Sr. played football at second best free throw shooter on this Georgia team. Knocks some 47 for Georgia. Kelly the lob. Cardwell.
Well, Auburn was looking for that lob dunk to Cardwell. That's
beautiful pass, threading the needle. Pettiford found Cardwell. Nearly doubling the first half rate. Asa Newell with the three.
Like a shooter, that's too short, too slow of a closeout.
And Pettiford left alone.
Actually, you're like 22 and 11, and he's shooting over 50%.
Long discussion with Bruce today at shoot-around, revolving the day of prep. Then you had to get on a plane, fly across the country to Spokane.
Yeah. It allows his team through this gauntlet of the SEC or the conference tournament. As we had that memorable 1-2 game. It's been a long week for these Auburn Tigers, but there's
Pettiford had it knocked away. He and Denver Jones have just about split the minutes at the point guard position today. Lob to Broom, back to the game, and they are now 5 of 16 from 3. But here's Broom, passed on the 3, went with the drive and the flush. Shot clock at 6. Whoa! On the clock. Fade away, 1 foot, no. Broom there.
Shot clock, you get the floater there. It's a different ball game if they collect it.
Asa Newell knocks down his passing. Spin move, 2-hand jam. Went right by the front. Surreal kicks it out. Kane with 3. Hand in his face, rattles it. Tough 2. Offensive rebound to get Newell for the push-off, I believe.
Point center skills, you bring up help. He dishes it off. Cheney finishes the rest.
Wins against AP top 10 teams this season. Tom, it's underway on ESPN News.
Perfect shooting, and he's picked up 4 dimes since the break.
Well, he continues to be a leading candidate for National Player of the Year, night in, night out. Red State a couple years back, and they've turned him to an all-conference player, to All-American.
The State a few years ago. Asa Newell in and out. Blue
shooting motion. I don't agree with this call. I think the foul occurred before he.
Demery Jr. This is a Georgia team that has not lost a single game. Jones, nice throw. Surreal commits. We'll take a quick look. Headset already off. All right. Demery into Cardwell. And a foul on the drive. Georgia can dictate who would shoot the free throws with the result.
It's excessive. That extra swing down is where they could elevate it, but I'd be surprised.
Demery can shoot the free throws. There's blood all over. Demery's going to stay in the game. He says
he was ready for a fight, and he has brought it. This guy's logged 37 minutes. Luke, dynamite competitor for Mike White at the point guard spot.
Georgia's got some great wins on their resume. Number 1. 1 of 2 for.
Hadn't been to the line as much as the other guys, but typically the players they're close.
Kane off balance 3. Newell followed jam. Nobody got a bot. Auburn has turned it up in the second half, led by Janai Broom, who's got at least Janai Broom's competition for the air ball. And a Georgia turnover. The jungle, it's all the noise and none of the mosquito bites.
Yeah.
Dumps it off to Jones, fouled by Kane.
7 boards, 4 assists, 7 for 7. And guess what? That was only in this half.
Well, at Moorhead State as an elite shot blocker. Set a school record for blocks with Moorhead.
Yeah, he continues to help with the rim protection, but he has got a squad around him.
Broom with the rebound. And he has it knocked out of bounds. It'll be good for the Cats to tie as soon as we finish.
NCAA tournament team to me. I mean, you watch these guys, and they're just not a top. But you can't tell me that this team right here isn't good enough to be in the NCAA tournament. We got a 2-game lead in the SEC, and we're not letting go.
Of their last 14 games, the 7th top 10 opponent that they've 10-point lead, 31 seconds to play. We're back to Auburn.
They're known for this home court advantage and how well they play at home. But
season in firm command with after today 4 basketball has ever seen by the numbers. Asa Newell.
He's ignited this fan base and this program. It's been sensational.
Well, I think you have to be built to this incredible home court advantage. It'll be the 5th victory. Let's stay in the Yellowhammer State. A big one. It's a sonic block.